You know, it took me it it took me the longest time in the world to admit that I don't enjoy being around my parents. Um it's a touchy subject, right? Because growing up, my father always said that family is everything, right? And that there's only us four in the world, meaning my mum, my dad, me, and my sister. And he always said this, like he emphasized this a lot, like throughout my life. But I also have to look deep within myself to understand that love doesn't mean closeness sometimes. Love means distance. And I can still love them from far away. I can still love them despite knowing that I don't enjoy being around them. Despite knowing that when I'm around them, I still feel like that scared, helpless child that's blooming to come out, which is who I'm not anymore. I'm not that anymore. But around them, I still am, because human beings are a mirror and life is a mirror. So what they see me as is what gets reflected back to me, not just by what they say to me and what they do with their actions, but how they look at me and how the moment is, right? So when I look in the eyes of my mum or my dad, they still see me as that child that they need to guide or teach or protect. And when they tell me things, they say it's for care and protection. We just want the best for you. We just don't want to see you upset. We know what's right for you. But the thing is, it's actually just their fear and control, and it's disguised as care. So inside themselves, they are scared because they never learned to love unconditionally. Maybe that's because they never had it growing up. You know, my dad often emphasized that his life was a lot harder because his dad was an alcoholic, and my mum was the same. Her dad was an alcoholic, and they used to beat them sometimes, and they made me understand a lot that my life was very much easier. And whenever I told them that they're doing something wrong, I don't like, then they were always like, hey, I'm not making you go to the shop to get beers, and you're not watching me beat your mum every day. So it's like, they always think they're right no matter what, and it's fine. I don't want to change them. I don't want to change anyone anymore. I don't care about any. Okay, that sounds bad. Not that I don't care about anyone, but I know that you can't change people. If they want to change, they'll change for themselves. And clearly, they don't think they need to change or want to change or even feel like they should change, which is their decision, and that's fine. But it's also my decision if I want to distance myself from them and I don't want to associate myself with them right now, that doesn't mean it's forever, but I feel like I'm a lot calmer, I'm a lot more at peace when I don't constantly have to message my mother every day, asking me, are you okay? How are you? What are you doing? Every day, sometimes multiple times a day. And yeah, because I feel like there's a lot of things in life that they didn't do that they wanted to do. I agree they gave us, me and my sister meaning, a great opportunity coming to the UK, right, from Hungary, because there's a lot more opportunity here. They gave us a good life here. But I feel like they never really worked on themselves. They're in surface level jobs. And not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that they're in surface level jobs and they just don't do much for themselves. They're always in the house. They don't have like friends around them. They're always just together all the time. And this is what, like, when me saying this is not even bad, right? Because like the life that I want to lead, I'll probably be the same. Like when I find my soulmate, my mirror, the woman who can fan my flame inside me and not run or be overwhelmed by it, I'll probably only want to be with her as well, right? I'm not gonna have like guy friends and drink beer and go to the pub, and I'll probably just only want to do my thing and just be with her as well. So it's not even a bad thing in the slightest, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know, I feel like there's just a lot they didn't do that they wanted to do, and at times they took it out on me and my sister. But it's mostly been shame and guilt, like from my mother, especially. Yeah, like shame and guilt, that was her thing, like when I tried to distance myself in the past, and then she was always like, pulling that "you don't love me" card. um what would happen if I had a heart attack? How would you call me? How would I call you? Where would you know where to go? And they did the same to my sister when she went away to university and she wanted that time alone, which is healthy and it's good, right? You need that as a human being. Time alone, time for yourself, to become who you are, to listen to yourself. And she didn't message them, let's say for like a few days, a week. And I remember being in my parents' room and my dad screaming at her on the phone, how dare you? How dare you not pick up the phone? What if I get brain cancer and I'm on the floor? Like, how am I going to call you? And here's the thing, I'm not talking about these things, these deeply personal things, because I want to shame them. I'm talking about them out loud because it helps me understand what's going on and why things happened the way it did and why I'm doing what I'm doing now. And it's helping me realize who I am and how much I grew as a person, to understand all this without judgment and just with love, understanding, and grace and truth. So them saying that to my sister and me, it was fear of being left alone, right? Because what would happen if my sister decided to do what I did, which actually I believe would be the best thing for her, but I'm not going to get into that right now. You know, let's say she did her own thing, went away to university, far away from where we live, and cut ties for a few months, a few years, built herself. And I'm doing the same now. So my parents wouldn't have us to talk to leech off energy. All right, that's a bit too much. They're not leeching, but you know, like to just there would be nothing. They would just be alone with their thoughts, and they can't handle that because they're distracting themselves, running from themselves, right? That's one thing they can't do. They can't sit still in a room like me and talk about their thoughts or their feelings. My dad was never an emotional person. He never really showed emotion, ever. He probably, not probably, he believes that showing emotion is probably weak for a man. And my mum doesn't have a voice of her own. You know, she's, as much as I love her, she's a weak person. She can't be alone. She couldn't be alone. She told us if it wasn't for us, meaning my dad, my sister, and me, she couldn't live anymore. She could not live alone. And you know, I believe her, and it's sad. And I know she went through a lot of horrible things growing up, but you know, it's up to us. It's up to us to stop blaming others after a while, especially when we get older, because we can't help how we came here. We can't help our circumstances, but what we can help is how we think about them, right? You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius, right? So you cannot change how you came here. You cannot change how you grew up. But you can change how you feel now, in this moment, right now. And how do I feel right now? I'm humble enough to say that I don't enjoy being around my parents. I enjoy being alone more. I feel more at home with a stranger that I meet on the street, that I have a 5-minute conversation with, and I look deeply in their eyes and I see God, right? Because they're smiling deeply at me, fully open, fully in love, no ego, no shame, no control, no fear, no illusion. It's just us in the moment. It's God, right? Isn't that what life is supposed to be? Isn't life supposed to be that you can go out and create and make your own people, make your own disciples, make your own family? And yeah, I know people like Habib in the UFC are, you know, always advertising and saying like family is everything and you're nothing without family, and or movies like Fast and Furious, you know, like family's number one. But maybe they mean the family that you create, right? Not your biological family, but the family that your soul awakens to, that you will find along your journey, right? People that get you straight away just for being who you are, just for opening up, sharing your soul, being completely yourself. And maybe that's what they mean when I find her, right? When I can be completely myself, true to myself, speak freely without shame, without fear, and she will love me no matter what, because she knows I'm real, genuine, and honest, and she doesn't have to change me. And she won't want to change me. We'll only want to help each other as grow, and to grow as people. Same with even just friends and just, you know? So like making your own people, finding your own people, just by being yourself. So yeah. It wasn't easy for me to say that. And I know that they will watch this video and they might not understand. and it might upset them. But the way I think is beyond fairness, beyond compassion, beyond empathy, even beyond love. Just give me truth. Give me truth, because that's all that matters. Truth meaning truth to what I feel, what I think. Because if I feel it, then it's truth, it's real.